So Oxana is doing an icebreaker today. I guess she's starting a new path. And so it's a speech that is 4 to 6 minutes. As an icebreaker, Oxana's goal is to present, just to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. She didn't really have a title, but it's about career steps. So Oxana, go ahead with your icebreaker.
Thank you, Marie-Noël. I would like to start with a question. Since March 2020, how many of you either had started a new job or had a new manager or got a promotion? Just raise your hand. All right, some of you. I would have to raise multiple hands because a lot of changes happened to me. So since this is my third icebreaker, I would like to kind of deep dive into my career and talk specifically about the time frame within the last 2.5 years. Cover the timeline, what happened when, all of my crazy managers changed, the projects that I was in, and what I learned, and what has it resulted into. So starting with my timeline, I've joined the team in November 2018. And throughout the last 2.5 years, I had so many manager changes, it's not even funny. Starting with Magda, who was the person who hired me. I was fine for about a year, then she went on maternity leave. And I've been reporting to her backup. Then she came back, but that was deciduous because just a few months later, of course, COVID started, she left. She left the company. So a new VP joined that she would have been reporting to, and I started reporting directly to him. And then he took about 8 months, 9 months to actually replace her. That's my new manager now, is the new director. But I actually, in reality, continue work with Tanuj more than my real manager. And then our COO left, Vishal, who I worked directly as well with quite a bit. So that's how many managers changes I had just within the last 2.5 years without leaving the team at all. All
Wow.
happened kind of behind the scenes. As far as my roles and responsibilities and my career, basically it was a promotion for me when I joined the team 2.5 years ago. And then there were 3 huge projects that played a huge role in my career development. The service allocations and M&A, which I'll deep dive a little bit further on the next slide. But these are the 3 projects that really helped me grow and propelled my career beyond anything I could have imagined, and resulted in another promotion just last month. So in the video games terms, I've leveled up twice in the last 2.5 years. All my stats are up. So what happened? How these projects kind of helped me? What were they about? And so forth. There's a service was a project to transform the Aruba business unit, just one business unit within our group, but it's big, to manage the software from being purely on-prem to as a service. Not all of it, but some of it. And it's a huge transformation because the changes are not required only to IT infrastructure, but also to the organization, the processes. It's very, very large project, multi-year, and it's still ongoing. It's Aruba-wide, but the guidance that I was getting was from my peer, that backup guy, that backuped my manager while she was on maternity. He was higher level, but he was my peer. So the direction that he gave me, the guidance that he gave me, was very detailed, very tactical, very helpful. Actually, go there, do that type of a guidance. It was extremely helpful for me to learn how to run a project of this magnitude and scale. So when I got allocations last summer, I was ready for it because I was taking directions, in this case, directly from our COO and CFO. This project was to move a part of organization from one business unit to another. And it involved people, the whole teams, processes, and tools from one business unit to another business unit. It was for select functions, but It was huge and very intense. The guidance that they gave me was kind of a one-liner vague something. Go there, do that. And I'm like, what? Go where, do what? Type of situation. So I had to really paddle my way through all these waves to figure out where to even start. But when you start poking around, and all kind of starts making sense, and then every development you do, you go back to them and see, this is what I am doing. Is it okay? This is what my next steps are. Is that okay? Which in turn positioned me very, very well for the M&A project, which is an integration of a recently acquired software company into our business unit who mainly sells hardware. And even though we're transforming to the service, we aren't quite there yet. So we are integrating into IT infrastructure that is being built as we speak, and it's very, very hard. When I joined the project, I was joking, I feel like a baby. I had to sleep 9-10 hours a day. That's how much I was learning and information I was absorbing. I had to have an hour or two extra sleep to be able to process all of that new information. It was tough. It's still tough, but I've learned so much. And the guidance I'm taking now is from kind of a difficult person as a character, but extremely knowledgeable, and he's been leading multiple integrations. So he knows exactly what he's doing. And ultimately it resulted into my current promotion. So that's kind of how I grew. And what I've learned throughout the whole process is 3 big things, which hopefully could resonate with you as well. One is I'm not alone. Always when I'm given something new, I'm thinking, oh, I'm all alone. I don't know how to do it, how I figure it out. In reality, there are so many people around you that are there to help you. They're not only willing and able, they're also eager to help. You just need to find the right person, ask the right question, just go get them. And if a manager assigns you something, if the manager approaches you with something that seems so difficult for you, or a new job, somebody approaches within job, they do that for the reason. They actually trust that you can do it. Maybe you don't trust yourself that you can do it, but they do. So trust them. Sometimes they know better. If you want to grow fast, what helped me is that there is a team. It's the same team, but there are multiple levels of employees. There are some junior, there are some intermediate, there are some senior people who you can tag along and shadow and learn from. And that could result into big growth very fast, because there is rotation of projects, there is rotation of people. Everybody grows that fast. In a couple of years, they're ready to move to their next role, and you are ready to take on whatever they have left. It's tough to find a team like that, but if you do, once you're in, you're kind of all set. For the next few years, you're all set in your growth. That's kind of what I learned. You're gonna have to get into a stream and ride it. Just find the right one. And then what I learned is to say yes first and think next. We are the biggest inhibitors of our own progress. Sometimes we are scared to do something that seems very difficult, and we undermine our own abilities way more than any of outside world does. So that's what I do. I say yes, and then I think about it. And if it's a no, if I decide it's a no, then okay, even if I quit a month later, that's fine. Even if it's difficult, that's fine. People believed in me, so just say yes and you figure it out. And turns out it always figures itself out, even without me. It doesn't ever seem like I'm going against the stream in some way. So that's what I've learned throughout the whole thing. And I hope this resonates with you as well and help you with your career growth. Thank you.